Over the next 2 days, we will also consider several strategic reforms that build upon this shared vision. Among them is the draft Sexual Offences Amendment Bill, which has been on the table for quite a while. It seeks to strengthen our collective response to sexual and gender-based violence, which is endemic, systemic, and very complex. It is also growing in numbers and deeply disturbing incidences like what we watched on Citizen TV last night, and the increasing incidences of femicide. This conversation demands coordinated legislative, policy, and institutional interventions if we are to provide meaningful protection to victims and ensure accountabilities for the perpetrators. We will also review progress towards the operationalization of instant traffic fines, a reform that is intended to promote efficient enforcement of traffic laws while ensuring fairness, consistency, and due process. What we want is convenience to our motorists, and what we want is a safe environment for our motorists. And if properly implemented, it has the potential to improve compliance, reduce unnecessary litigation, and contribute to safer roads. So what we are going to do about the wildlife crime is to recognize that it threatens biodiversity, undermines tourism, fuels organized criminal networks, and poses significant national security risk. Wildlife crime requires a coordinated response from investigation through prosecution to adjudication. As we look ahead to the 2027 general elections, the National Council on the Administration of Justice must continue early preparations. Election preparedness extends beyond electoral management. It encompasses the readiness of the entire justice sector to uphold constitutionalism, the rule of law, to protect the rights, especially of the vulnerable, to manage disputes efficiently, and preserve public confidence in the rule of law. I encourage the NCAJ Election Preparedness Committee to continue providing leadership in facilitating coordinated planning among all our justice sector institutions. The Council will also consider reforms to strengthen identification parade procedures, recognizing that reliable identification processes protect victims, witnesses, and suspects alike, while enhancing the integrity of criminal investigations and prosecutions. With the Kenya Prison Service already having secure and digital accounts capable of verifying the authenticity of these court documents, time has now come for us as a justice sector to embrace electronically authenticated documents and progressively transition away from paper-based processes. This shift will reduce delays, improve efficiency, and bring us closer to a truly paperless justice system. So the other document that we are going to be launching, ladies and gentlemen, is the Standard Operating Procedures on Sexual and Gender-Based Violence, which represents another significant milestone in streamlining coordinated justice sector responses to to one of the most pressing human rights challenges of our time. Survivors of SGBV should never experience secondary victimization because institutions fail to communicate or because referral systems are weak. These procedures provide a framework for strengthening collaboration, clarifying institutional responsibilities, and ensuring that survivors receive timely, dignified, and trauma-informed services throughout the justice sector processes.
We have been very, very keen on the aspect of professionalizing and the capacity building of our officers mandated to receive the victims at our police station desks, and as well as the officers mandated to investigate on all matters relating to sexual and gender-based violent cases reported at our stations. As a matter of policy, we have strategically put in place gender desks at almost all our police stations. We have come up with the idea of the Polycare, fully operational in Nairobi and as well Nanyuki. In order to meet the specialized need of the victims, we have also established a child protection unit that have been well trained both locally and internationally to make sure that victims of the sexual and gender-based violence are properly received and the cases investigated to international standards. We have put in place strategies to leverage on technology, because technology is very, very key. And for us to properly investigate cases relating to SGBV, then we must make use of the technology that is available. And we have our national forensics laboratory, which is domiciled at the DCI headquarters. Recently, we have established a small section known as the Forensic Evidence Analysis Unit. The purposes of that Forensic Evidence Analysis Unit is to make sure that we improve on the tracking, the receipt of all the evidences that we receive at the laboratory.
So the National Council of Administration of Justice is having its 38th meeting. This is an organ that has been established under the Judicial Service Act to coordinate among all the players in the legal justice system. It is chaired by the Chief Justice. You have representation from the police, from several constitutional commissions, and also from the Law Society of Kenya. So there are a number of policy documents that are being launched today. We've already launched the one on the policy on information and communication technology. All the actors in the legal justice system are very clear that we need to digitize, we need to use automation to go paperless. In fact, the Law Society of Kenya has declared 2026 the year of legal technology and innovation. When we use technology, it enables us to reach all Kenyans wherever they are and bring services of the legal justice sector closer to the people. There are also going to be other policy documents that are going to be launched, including on issues to do with gender-based violence and so on. We have various mechanisms for coordination, and those mechanisms will continue between the Law Society of Kenya, other justice actors, and in particular the judiciary. On some occasions when we feel that reforms are too slow, we will take other measures as well so that we can bring to the attention of Kenyans the need for the reforms to be done urgently. Right now, the Law Society of Kenya is still engaged in a targeted court boycott of a few courts where we feel the structures of accountability, external accountability in the judiciary have been frustrated by court orders stopping a few judges and judicial officers from facing the Judicial Service Commission or from going through investigations under Ethics Anti-Corruption Commission. EACC is present under the NCAJ. Judicial Service Commission is also meant to be represented through the person of the Chief Justice and the Secretary to the JSC. So we are saying, let all organs do their work without obstruction by other organs.